All right, hello everybody, I am Krex, I am your host here at v3.1.3, and for this particular league, I will start out with version 3.1.4 of my Lantern control list. This particular build is a little bit different than my stable list. Specifically, I am testing out 2 Codex Shredders and 4 Pixie. This is... I was kind of part of the lead of kind of guiding people towards playing a 3-3 split instead of a 4 in favor of Codex Shredder to Pixis. Pixis has been overperforming as a mill rock, and I really want to give it an opportunity to shine in this build. So I'm going all the way down to 2 Codex Shredder. There is a small problem with this plan, and that is that if I lose both of my Codex Shredders and my opponent has more cards in their deck than I do with no way for me to get them out of their deck, then I lose instead of my opponent losing. That's just kind of the nature of this deck, is that it doesn't actually stop the game, it just brings the game to a standstill, and whoever has the least cards in deck loses just by game rules. And if I don't have enough shredders, then that person is me. So I could go all the way through the trouble of locking up a game, and then both my Codex Shredders get countered or milled or something like that, and I just don't have a means to win the game anymore because this list has basically no recursion to it. But we're going to try it out and see how well it performs. I am trying a couple of other changes to the list. The big one is playing only 1 Dark Boar pathway and playing actually 0 for Mori Vault in this list. And instead, I'm playing a Polluted Delta as a 5th fetch land, and also, where is it? Underground Mortuary. It is time, folks. The meme has arrived. We are playing a Surveil land in Lantern control. I've already gotten a couple of games in with this bad boy. It seemed pretty good when I played it. I'm not exactly certain how good it's going to be overall. We'll find out. I do think that it might be better than Mori Vault, and I'm gonna draw the ire of a significant portion of the Lantern community by saying that, but Fomori Vault has not been performing very well for me. It has been a colorless source when I've needed a colored source, and it has also kind of got a pretty heavy cost to activate its ability, 3 mana and discarding a card. And I haven't found myself often enough in the situation where I'm capable of paying that cost that I think it would be justified over something that might be a little bit faster, like this Surveil land here. I will give it a shot. I might go back to 3.1.3. I might go and make a new stable version. I have no idea what is going to happen with this list, but I am giving it a shot. I will go ahead and start up the first match, and I'll be back. Excellent. We have started our first round against AAA. Hello, AAA. I will very happily play against you. With this hand, 7 cards in hand, no Gigantha reveal. This hand is a bit weak, especially with this Verdant Catacombs only being 1 black source. I'll go ahead and keep it. It's a bit risky. I'm not going to lie, this is a bit of a risky hand. I wouldn't fault anyone for mulliganing this. But I feel like the Saga and Tutor together, combined with my opponent not revealing Gigantha, might just be good enough. And we topped up against Ensnaring Bridge. That's fantastic news. Do I lead on Thoughtseize here? I think I want to play some sort of black spell. And I do think I want to grab a basic swamp. So I will go ahead and Thoughtseize our opponent. It's Dredge. Playing Psychic Frog? That's very interesting. Creeping Chill. Prized Amalgam doesn't want to go in the graveyard. Psychic Frog is probably the take. Yeah, Psychic Frog is definitely the take. All right. What an interesting build. Yeah, I guess I take 3 off of a Creeping Chill. I'll go ahead and play my Urza Saga and use that to suspend a Profane Tutor now. This Cling to Dust in hand, looking pretty decent, although I'm not 100% certain my opponent is even capable of winning against an Ensnaring Bridge. I guess we'll find out. That is just a hard cast Prized Amalgam. You got it. Cephalid Coliseum is gone. Do I even bother leaving open... Oh, drew a Blooming Marsh. That's nice. Do I even bother leaving open Cling to Dust? My opponent's not really doing anything. My opponent could have drawn a Force of Negation or a Flare of Denial. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. I think I'm just going to slam my Ensnaring Bridge and pass turn. I am going to take 3 from this amalgam here. They still have 2 unknown cards in hand. I don't know what those are. You put a card on top, you say? That's very interesting. So this Profane Tutor is going to come off Suspend. I wonder what I should grab with it. I'm tempted to grab a Thoughtseize. I'm really tempted to grab a Thoughtseize, actually. I think I'm going to grab a Thoughtseize, and then Urza Saga can grab a Lantern. I have a Pixis in hand. Let's go ahead and grab a Thoughtseize. Oh, that's entirely too many Thoughtseizes, I think. I will find a Lantern of Insight. Zombie Infestation. Wow, that's a card. Deep Analysis is going to be my take. So I'll go ahead and take that. I don't really need to use this Thoughtseize on anything else. I could actually just... What I could do is I could cling the Deep Analysis now and then play double Pixis. And I think I will do that. All right. And this game is locked up. I'm going to fall to 3 from those Creeping Chills. Zombie Infestation is down. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize our opponent, taking a Creeping Chill. That's very good. And then we will Pithing Needle that Cephalid Coliseum. You got it. That's not what I'm really worried about. Cephalid Coliseum is down. Okay. And now I need to not exile my 2 Codex Shredders. That was easy. Yeah, that was really easy. Let's go ahead and get started with our sideboarding plan, I guess. I didn't really see much from them. I saw some blue-black cards. I wonder if I want my Flaying Tendrils. Oh, Extirpates, get in the deck. Bloodchief's Thirst, not really. My opponent did concede the game before I got to see much out of their deck. I'm assuming they have some Dredgers. Beyond that, I'm not entirely certain. Pithing Needle might actually be relevant. Grafdigger's Cage is going to be very, very good. Witherbloom Command hitting Zombie Infestation is not really where I want to be. By the time that this comes online, they can just activate it as many times as they like and get their value out of it. So I think Witherbloom Command is going to come out. Do I take Assassin's Trophy out and replace it with Bloodchief's Thirst? I don't think so. I kind of want to keep the trophies in, and I also want the Flaying Tendrils in to mop up zombie tokens. Cling to Dust is good. I could side out my Thoughtseizes. Do I think that's where I want to be? They're playing blue. For Psychic Frog, Cephalid Coliseum, I didn't see any counter magic. And I'm playing against Dredge. Or some sort of Dredge variant. I'm not entirely certain what. Do I need all my Pithing Needles? Pithing Needle can hit Cephalid Coliseum, Psychic Frog, Zombie Infestation. I think I'll keep my Pithing Needles. I think this deck is going to have a very difficult time beating an Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, and there's an Ensnaring Bridge in my hand. That's fantastic. Yes, let's go ahead and keep this. And my opponent is mulliganing hard. All right. Get our F6 equity in. Playing Tendrils, that's a good draw. I'll play this on the black side. Play my Lantern of Insight. Yeah, you got it. I'm gonna see what that card is regardless of where you put it. Polluted Delta. You need lands, huh? I'll go ahead and play this Mishra's Bauble. So they've got 4 unknowns right now. Zombie Infestation, sure. I don't really need more cards in my hand. I need to get this Ensnaring Bridge down is what I need. Yep, there's the Dredger. So they have 1 unknown in hand. They could have a Golgari Thug in hand if they wanted to, and they do. That's a Golgari Thug. This Flaying Tendril is looking pretty decent right now. If only I had another... Ooh, that's interesting. So Cephalid Coliseum was the card in their hand. Let's go ahead and see what they're going to draw. Golgari Thug and... Huh. Golgari Thug and Dark Blast? Okay. So I am going to take a decent hit here, I think. Yeah, it is nice that Dredge is milling themselves out and making it so that my Codex Shredders are just not necessary. I'm not certain I want to pop this Mishra's Bauble right now. I'm not certain I want to pop this Mishra's Bauble right now. I would go up to 6 cards. It would be lovely if I could draw another land, but I could hit a land off this Ancient Stirrings anyway. So if I pop the Bauble, I would go up to 6 cards. I would play land, then Stirrings, Shredder, and then whatever I find off of the Stirrings. That would bring me down to 4. But it would also give me another look towards a black source, which could let me mop up this board. Do I need to mop up the board? I've hit 1 Creeping Chill already. I think I'm gonna do it. I kind of want the draw. Let's go ahead and put the Profane Tutor on the bottom. And that Urza Saga allows me to... Ooh. Yeah, I don't need Urza Saga right away. I do, however, want that Pixis right away. So let's go ahead and do this. Now let's do this. Take a Pixis. Play a Pixis. And this Urza Saga, combined with the Mycosynth Gardens, will allow me to cast the double pips on this Flaying Tendrils next turn. I'm fairly confident that my opponent is going to... Yep, they're going to do that. They're going to put as much pressure on me as they possibly can. Did they just draw the Deep Analysis? Nope, they Golgari thugged, and now their hand is empty. You got it. Lots of nasty things in their graveyard. My primary concern at this point is probably Creeping Chill. I need to find a... I need to find something to answer that Creeping Chill. The Creeping Chills. I could go grab a... I'm definitely casting this Profane Tutor. I could grab a Cling to Dust. I could grab Extirpate. How much damage can my opponent do to me? They have 3 Deep Analysis in their graveyard and a 4th in exile. So they could do a decent chunk of digging for their remaining Creeping Chills. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm almost dead on board. I need my opponent to not mill out all 3 of their Creeping Chills in this upcoming turn cycle. This Cling to Dust will allow me to... and I can draw that. This Cling to Dust will allow me to go up to 12 life. Let's go ahead and cast this Flaying Tendrils. Fantastic. All right. So the board is clear. My opponent's hand is empty. They returned a Golgari Thug. If they do a natural draw here, then if they natural draw into an untapped black land, then I'm in trouble because they can just discard the Ensnaring Bridge. I think I'm going to mill the Thoughtseize, knowing that it brings me a little bit closer to a Creeping Chill, which is not fun. Ooh! Creeping Chill's gone. And my opponent doesn't have an instant speed draw effect. Okay. I don't believe my opponent can win from this position. And they've got a Stinkweed Imp and a Stinkweed Imp. All right, this is fantastic news. Okay, so their prized amalgams are going to return at the end step here. A bunch of stuff is going to return. I believe these are 3-power creatures. Yep, they're 3 power. I'm pretty happy with where everything is right now. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to cling to dust, exiling. Let's take a Stinkweed Imp. I'm going to gain a spot of life. And then I'm going to play my Ensnaring Bridge. And now the entire board that they just brought back cannot attack. They can still hit me with a creature off of the zombie infestation. They've hit 3 Creeping Chills. So they have 1 more left in their deck. So they can bring me down to 6 and then down to 3 off of the attack from the 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘 and the zombie infestation token that they're going to create here. I think I've got this wrapped up. All right, so they discarded, I think, double Stinkweed Imp. And then returned a Stinkweed Imp to their hand. That is 4 Creeping Chills out of their deck. Yeah, you got it. Oh. I forgot. Deep Analysis is target player. That's hilarious. Yep. Okay, well, Game 3 is on. Perhaps I should have extirpated that turn instead. Oh, I didn't have the extirpate. Oops. Oh well, it happens. I need to be more aware of that Deep Analysis. Hopefully, this game I'll be able to get a Grafdigger's Cage in play. Alright, let's go ahead and be on the play for this game. This is a pretty good block. I'm pretty happy to have this hand. I agree, that was pretty cheeky. That was pretty cheeky. I'm kind of stoked to lose to that line. Land number 3. Do I want land number 3? I feel like I can find land number 3 between all of my mill rocks. That being said, drawing land number 4 actually isn't really that bad here. I'll go ahead and draw it. My opponent has a 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘. They only got 1 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘. Okay. So, Polluted Delta. Yeah, I don't believe I need 4th land quite yet. That was pretty weird. Let's go ahead and try this again, shall we? All right, sorry about that, everybody. My internet connection just died randomly for a little bit. Not exactly sure what happened. I kind of want to draw this extirpate. So I will go ahead and bobble now. The question is, do I want to play out my Codex Shredder right now? Or do I want to play out my Ensnaring Bridge next turn? think I'm going to play out the Shredder now. I don't think my opponent's going to do anything that will require me to have the Extirpate available right this second. And I can exile the top card of their deck before they draw it. I will go ahead and take that Cephalid Coliseum. Dark Blast is fine. Ancient Stirrings. We take those. Zombie Infestation. So they could make 6 power worth of creatures next turn. I think that's fine. I think I'm definitely in a position where I want to leave this Extirpate up. And I didn't find anything else. So I will go ahead and just fire off this Pithing Needle now. If it hits, I'm definitely naming Zombie Infestation. Probably naming Zombie Infestation anyway. And my opponent just dumped their entire hand to do that. Yeah, I'll name Zombie Infestation. Just make it so my opponent cannot... Now, I'm just going to make it so my opponent can't discard Dredgers anymore. Now, here's something I could do. Oh, wait, no, they got 2 different types of Dredgers in their yard. I think I'll just hold up the Extirpate for the inevitable Creeping Chill. Although taking those deep analyses seems pretty good too. I think I kind of want to do that before my opponent has the opportunity to cast it. So, yep. Now I need to either find my own... Either I need to find my own... Oh, what's the name of that card? I need to find my own Cling to Dust. Or I need a way to exile these Creeping Chills or something. So the game's certainly not over. Because... Oh, well, that's one way to do it. Okay, yeah, that's one way to do it. Just put the Creeping Chill on top of the deck where I can now exile with Pixis. Let's go ahead and drop that Ensnaring Bridge. All right, they've got a Dark Blast now. They're going to Dark Blast their own creature to swing at me. Unfortunately, it's not going to matter. I will go ahead and just mill them one. This Pithing Needle is very good. This will name Cephalid Coliseum. Cephalid Coliseum. And I will go ahead and cling their Golgari Thug now. Gain a little bit of life. All right. Now we're in the same position as we were the last time. Except this time, there are no cheeky deep analyses in my opponent's deck. So let's go ahead and just win the game. All right, and after a little bit of just milling out my opponent using these 𝗟𝗩𝗘, which are quite nice, we take the match. After losing connection and almost going down to 5 minutes on clock, turns out that my opponent just doesn't have any outs to Ensnaring Bridge outside of the cheeky little deep analysis that they cast on me in the second game. We take those. I will go ahead and start up the second round. All right, we have started round 2 versus 𝗟𝗑𝗩𝗑𝗡s. Hello, 𝗟𝗑𝗩𝗑𝗡s. I will play against you, but I don't know if it's going to be with this hand. This hand has a lot of cards in it, but none of the cards really do anything. It has no lock, no bridge, no discard. Urza Saga only has one land to go with it. I'm going to mulligan this. This is a much better hand. It has the ability to cast this Assassin's Trophy, so I might just bottom an Inquisition. Hope to draw a third land for that bridge. My apologies, everybody. It looks like my opponent is timing out. And I also had a small error in one of my applications. I'm just working on fixing it while my opponent is figuring out what they're doing. So give me a minute. All right. So it looks like the application error is fixed. It was just caused by my internet connection going kaput. Needed to restart a couple of my systems. Still waiting for my opponent to do something. And it looks like my connection is fine. I'll go ahead and go on break again. Feel free to listen to the music while we wait for our opponent to figure out what we're doing. Ah, wow. Now they're waiting for me to respond. Oh, how rude. Forest into Ancient Stirrings does not bode well for me. Yeah. Let's hope that I draw a land in my next 3 draws. That's a land. Do I have the opportunity to play a Surveil land here? Not really. Let's go ahead and play this on the black side. I will Inquisition my opponent here, see what they're up to. Wish this Inquisition was a Thoughtseize. But if I were playing against Energy, I would wish it was an Inquisition, so that's why we diversify the things that we play in our deck, I suppose. And once again, there we go. All right, so yep, this is a bit funky, isn't it? We can definitely take the Malevolent Rumble here. Definitely not taking them off of green. That is a Utopia Sprawl. So that's their unknown. That's a force down. Do I Assassin's Trophy on the forest that has the Utopia Sprawl on it? I would leave them with 1, 2. Forest is in their hand. Eldrazi Temple is in their hand, so that still leaves them with 5 mana. I don't really have anything else I'm doing with my hand right now. I think I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to put a stop on their draw step here. And I don't really need 3 black sources. So let's go ahead and kill the forest. All right, they did have a replacement forest. Eldrazi Temple is down. Sowing Mycospawn, huh? That was what they top decked. Finding another Eldrazi Temple. And so far I haven't really tipped my hand as to what I'm doing. And I am not entirely certain that I'm going to start now. The ideal here would be that my opponent plays their World Breaker. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because the World Breaker is a 7 mana spell, and they have the forest in hand for it. They could try to set me really, really far behind. I kind of want them to do that. I'm not going to give them any additional targets. All right, so that's the forest gone. And this is the World Breaker that I was hoping that they were going to cast. Fantastic. Yes, please, take me off of green. I can take 11, going to 8. Worst case scenario, that Profane Tutor will grab me a land of some sort. That is a Mishra's Bauble. That's fantastic news. All right, let's go ahead and tell our opponent what we're doing. The jig is up. Unfortunately, they do have a ton of unknowns in their hand right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fall to 8. And I am going to dig for that 3rd land. When you cast this spell, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn. After that turn, that player takes an additional turn. Flying, trample, protection from instants. They could make me sacrifice my lantern. I pretty badly want this lantern. So I think my Profane Tutor is going to grab a land. And I'm going to stack it like this, so I draw the lantern. I'm going to cast the Profane Tutor now. I might... Do I grab an Urza Saga, or do I just grab a Blooming Marsh? These are the things I need to think about. Thank you for the feedback, Velocity? Let's try saying it like that. That's actually a custom plugin that I made for OBS. I'm keeping track of my opponent's hand right now with that. Oh, do I grab Blooming Marsh or do I grab Urza Saga? I have plenty of Mill Rocks. I'm gonna grab a Blooming Marsh. Always punished, never rewarded. Alright, so my opponent has a ton of cards in hand right now that I don't know about. And they're about to draw another one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mark that down now. Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me! It's a Kozilek's command? So they're gonna take control of me this turn. Unfortunately for them, my Assassin's Trophy is in the graveyard, and there's not really much they can do to me outside of making me sacrifice my lantern. Maybe forcing me to miss my land drop. So they've got a ton of spells in hand. Yep. And I'm possessed by Emrakul. There's just really not much they can do here. I'll go ahead and use my Mill Rocks because I can. The One Ring. Wow, didn't see that coming. And I have no control over myself. Let's see what our opponent does. All right. So they can basically just make me sacrifice my lantern, and that's all they can really do. So that was essentially like a 13 mana Vidillion click, almost. They're going to try and fix their own draw step here. Have me shuffle. I would love to draw that Thoughtseize. Yeah, they're going to have me shuffle. Whatever's in their hand, they want to keep it. Thoughtseize bug. Thoughtseize bug. Lantern Control has almost no self-sabotage. I see why they wanted me to not mess with them. Yeah, goodbye the One Ring. Alright, and now we're in a top deck war. My opponent is drawing to really World Breakers at this point. But they have a ton of ways to find World Breakers. They have Ancient Stirrings, Malevolent Rumble, the One Ring. Not that. Shifting Woodland. They could have had their Shifting Woodland become a copy of the One Ring. They just didn't do that for some reason. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking their stuff. Breaker of Creation. Yeah, okay. Probably shouldn't be milling them now that I'm thinking about it, because World Breaker is live. Alright, so this game is getting interesting. That's a Codex Shredder. Just go ahead and play it. Bridge is absolutely doing the Lord's work here. This is what it always does. This is why the deck is essentially a... Well, you can think of it in many ways, but one of the ways you can think about it is just to protect the Queen strategy for ensnaring Bridge. Alright, so are you going to have Shifting Woodland become a copy of the One Ring? Not yet. And that's a Lantern. We'll take those. Here they go. Yep, so this is going to become a problem. They're not even going to lose the life from it, so they have an unknown card in hand. I need to find a needle for either Shifting Woodland or honestly just the One Ring might be a good enough hit. Ugin's Labyrinth. That's a Talisman of Impulse. So this does have a burden counter on it. And I pretty badly want to hit something that will take care of that. Collective Brutality is not it right now. If I still had that Assassin's Trophy in hand, that would be a good answer, and this game would be locked up. This is pretty much the only thing that they've got going on right now. I'm going to mill myself one time. I'll take it. I'm not happy about it, but I will take it. All right, so they're gonna draw Utopia Sprawl and Misty Rainforests. This is fine. Devour of Destiny is okay. And they cannot really draw this Ēm'rīkul quite easily. Misty Rainforest is down. Utopia Sprawl is down. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fully expect them to activate this Shifting Woodland at some point. I'm going to activate Pixis, expecting them to draw Ēm'rīkul here. They just let it go. They just let it go. How do I feel about that? I'm not sure. But I've got a Pithing Needle on top of my deck now. I'm going to draw that. I'm going to cast it. My opponent will get 2 blind draws here. They have another Devour on top. And they hit the One Ring and Kozilek's Return. So I will name the One Ring right here. I'm just going to make sure Shifting Woodland becomes a copy of target permanent card in your graveyard until end of turn. Activate only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. It does not keep its name. Its name has changed to the One Ring. One Ring. And I really don't want my opponent having an Ēm'rīkul at this point because this Lantern is quite valuable. Yeah, this guy's activated abilities can't be activated now. This is why I play 3 Needles in my deck, and why almost every single other Lantern player, or prominent Lantern player, plays 3 Needles in their deck too. Because it's just, it's good. It's good. So now I'm about 6 minutes ahead on clock. I have got this game pretty much locked up. They're going to play Ugin's Labyrinth. That's going to exile a Devour of Destiny. I don't really care about that. Devour of Destiny that they cast from their hand. Oh. Interesting. Wow, I think they might have just taken it. Where'd they get that Sanctum of Ugin from? Damn it. All it took was one thing slipping through. And that's a World Breaker. And that's the game lost, actually, just like that. I'm gonna make them kill me. Where did that Sanctum of Ugin come from? Maybe it came from a, yeah, Ensnaring Bridge is gone. It must have come from a sowing Myco spawn earlier in the game. Yeah. Well, it happens. Wow, that was really good. That was a good game. And I'm at negative 18. Well played, man. All right, so they have Sanctum of Ugin. Assassin's Trophy in. Witherbloom Command out. Terra Sunders in. Duresses? They kept tapping for red, which makes me think that they might be a Through the Breach deck. Jury's still out on Duresses. Inquisition of Kozilek is out. So I guess Duress is in. Extirpates? I think Extirpates might actually come in. Cling to Dust is not good. Grafdigger's Cage is not good. Collective Brutality... probably not good. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. Let's go ahead and run like this. I would like to be on the play. I cannot keep this. I can keep this. And I will bottom a Codex Shredder. All right. My opponent has mulligan to 6. They have mulligan to 6. And I will lead with a Overgrown Tomb. I will pay the life. I will duress my opponent immediately. Disruptor Flute, huh? That's an interesting card. That's a very interesting card. Yeah, I'll take the flute. I don't want that making my stuff more expensive to cast. They played a commercial district, which means I now know their hand again. Alright, let's go ahead and play out that and duress our opponent again. Taking the One Ring this time. And this Terra Sunder is kind of just sitting in my hand, waiting for something to be used. This Terra Sunder is sitting in my hand, waiting for a target. I will pop this Bauble looking for a third land. That is a third land. That is a third land. I think I'll keep it. All right. Yeah, I have a plan for this turn now. Let's go ahead and play this. Yes, I will take another Urza Saga. And I might just start trying to kill my opponent here. They've gotten 2 draws where I don't know where they are. That's a Trinisphere. Yeah. So they played Misty Rainforest and Trinisphere. So they have 1 unknown in hand now. Okay. Let's go ahead and just make our construct. So my setup is a fairly complicated set of interactions. everything that you see on screen has been coded by me personally. I've got a server running in the background with a little bit of a controller on it, and that's how I keep track of my match and my match history and my opponent's hand. My music is being run through that as well. I'm actually listening to the same soundtrack that is playing on stream. It's too much for me to go into right now, but suffice it to say that everything you see, I have personally put together. Utopia Sprawl. I think Utopia Sprawl is fine. Oh, that's not good. They're casting something big here. Sowing Mycospawn. That was their last card in hand. So they're trying to go big. I don't want them to go big. Now I have some choices to make. I actually cannot cast this Profane Tutor because Trinisphere is in play. At least I cannot easily cast it. I could have Terrace under the Trinisphere here, but I don't think that that's the right play to make. I think I'm going to make a construct and push damage. And let's see if my opponent blocks this. They will block. I'll go ahead and make the construct then. One, two, four, five, six, 9. They're still a decent ways away from hard casting an Emrakul. And they cannot hard cast that either. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. They can hard cast that next turn. But I have a Thoughtseize in my hand. They can't cast it. They don't have enough mana. It's a 7 mana spell, and they've only got 6. That will let them cast it next turn. But I don't think I'm going to let them do that. I think I'm just going to find a Pixis here. And I'm going to press my advantage. I'm going to have them mill the Sowing Mycospawn. I kind of don't want them having creatures right now. Another Emrakul, that's great. You can have that. There we go. And that is the second game down. Whew. Whew, that was a bit tight. Thank you, all of these Urza sagas. That's quite nice. These Trinispheres are really annoying. Yeah, I still like where my deck is at right now. This is just a ridiculously, stupidly fast lock. All right, I'm down. What do I do here? If my opponent has a turn 2 Trinisphere, then I'm just completely borked. I think I'm going to duress them and just let them get one card through. Ah, well. Yeah, they would have had turn 2 the One Ring, which I could have not answered, actually. I could not have answered that very easily. And now I'm just going to have a ridiculously fast lock coming up. Turn 2, play Lantern plus Pixis, and then turn 3, play a bunch of additional mill rocks. Alright, so Emrakul's down, Eugene's Labyrinth is down, and Disruptor Flute is down. They named Pixis a Pandemonium, that's going to make me sad. They named Codex Shredder, which I can more than handle. They should have named Lantern of Insight. That way I couldn't sacrifice it. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and play the Lantern first. That's going to dictate if I use a fetch land or not. Ooh. Yeah, no fetch land. Let's just go ahead and play a Pixis. I could be super duper extra insanely crazy greedy and take them off this Misty Rainforest. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think it is definitely correct for my opponent to wait a turn to cast this Sowing Mycospawn, though. They don't need to do it right now. You don't need to do it right now. You do not need to cast this card right now. You didn't need to cast that. You didn't need to cast that. Why'd you cast that? Let's find out. Ah, that's why they casted it. Well, that means that Saga is now live. And if and when they go for copying the One Ring with their Shifting Woodland, I can just Terrace under it. My opponent is being wise here. Now I need to decide what this game is about. I don't need the construct right away. I can just play my Pixis. play my Shredder. Right. It costs 3 more to cast. That's ridiculous. All right. We're going to see some insano tech right here. Let's see who blinks first. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, right. I don't even need that ensnaring bridge. I forgot. Shifting Woodland requires Delirium. And they gave up. Okay, sure. We take those. We take those. I completely forgot that Shifting Woodland required Delirium, and they only had 2 card types. I think that they forgot to. But that's okay. This Terra Sunder definitely had that covered. My super awesome, fantabulous next level play was going to be allow them to copy the One Ring with the Shifting Woodland, and then let them tap the Woodland to put a burden counter on it and draw a card. But in response to the tap, just Terra Sunder the Woodland because it would be an artifact. How unfortunate I didn't get the chance to play my cool line. Oh well, I love all of my wins equally, including this one. I will go ahead and answer some questions from chat while getting the third matchup lined up. Oh, I kind of answered the plugin part, I suppose, but there are actually blue builds of this deck. Go check out MTGO's channel. It is linked in the description for this live stream. He's got a bunch of other Lantern content on there, does a lot of branching out, significantly more than I do. I'm very much focused on the traditional build, but he's got some pretty spicy stuff in there, including a Whir build that he's been working on for a long time, using Whir of Invention as a consistency tool, and even some 5-color stuff. And I think he might also have a build of Lantern that has Blood Moon in it. Go check it out. It's a really nice channel. I will go ahead and start up the third round. Excellent. We have started round 3 versus 𝗟𝗟𝗩𝗘. I'll play first against you. With this hand. It's a 1-lander, but I have Stirrings to find my second land. I have the Lantern Lock already in the hand, plus discard. And honestly, if Ancient Stirrings is in the deck, then what is it doing? Besides, you know, making sure that these sorts of hands are keepable. Well, I mean, it's also finding ensnaring bridges and stuff, but, you know, Ancient Stirrings is really good at finding that second land when you really need the second land. My opponent is mulliganing. They did not reveal a Jegantha. So I think I might take my first turn, fetch shocking a Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, I'll take my first turn fetch shocking an Overgrown Tomb. I would like to pay 3 life, and I will Stirrings now. Ooh. Yes, please. We're playing against Belcher. That Inquisition of Kozilek's is going to be really handy. Ooh, that Thoughtseize is going to be really good too. I do not need ensnaring bridges. I barely need lands. I will go ahead and Inquisition first. Go ahead and put this up for y'all to see. Pact of Negation is only good at protecting the combo. Sink into Stupor can answer a permanent that hits the battlefield. Flare of Denial is not castable right now. I kind of want Sink into Stupor, and then I want this Urza Saga to find a Pithing Needle for Garbage Charberser. I will take the Sink out of this hand, knowing that it means that my next spell will need to be protected by a Thoughtseize. Alright, Suppression Ray, that's fine. I was really hoping to play against this deck. This is a fun deck. This is really fun. So my opponent can now bolt in a Seagate Reborn, play the Thundertrap Trainer, look at the top 4 of their deck, reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, which is like 90% of their deck or something ridiculously silly. Get another Goblin Charbelcher. Yeah, you got it. I will Thoughtseize now. I'm going to take the Flare of Denial regardless of what happens here. So if this gets flared, then that's actually fantastic. You got it. That was my target anyway. I will go ahead and play a Pixis. Cast this Mishra's Bauble. And I really badly want this land, so I'm going to just do that now. Going to draw this land on their upkeep. This will give me an opportunity to exile at end of turn if I need to. All right, they played their Suppression Ray. And now the entire rest of the game is literally just going to be keeping them off of Sink into Stupor or this Pithing Needle that I'm about to grab off of Urza Saga. Okay. Let's go ahead and play this. Play this. And we'll win eventually, don't worry. I don't need to... Oh, this Profane Tutor... Oh, it's not coming off Suspend quite yet. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I do want that Pixis. I'm going to take them off of all of their consistency tools as well. And I can safely make a copy of Pixis here, tap out, pass the turn. And there's nothing for me to do. Nothing for my opponent to do either. They can play another Charbelcher if they really want to. And I think I'm just going to get a... I'm gonna get a Pithing Needle here. Wow. That was super aggressive. Yeah. Imagine if I had land into Assassin's Trophy here. I will take the Collective Brutality. It's a discard spell, I suppose. A5 or you lose the game. There we go. No, you cannot have that Seagate Restoration. Or that Seagate Restoration. Or that Waterlogged Teachings. You can have Whir of Invention. The deck that I think it won the challenge plays Whir of Invention to find Lotus Bloom, but doesn't actually play any other artifacts besides Lotus Bloom and Goblin Charbelcher. So I'm not really worried here. I do want this swamp. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. That's fine. This one, I don't really care about. I think I just need to focus on playing quickly here. They're going to cast Word for 0, go find a Lotus Bloom, just to shuffle their deck, and I hope to get another Seagate. It didn't work. Just going to keep them off of creatures now. Do I even need to keep them off of creatures? Like, I don't need to keep them off of creatures, but like it doesn't really hurt at this point. I'm just going to kind of mill them. Save targets. Yeah, this just doesn't matter. This guy's got 1 power. Yeah, none of this matters. I can let them draw 1 creature, maybe even 2 creatures, honestly. I'm just not going to die fast enough for it to matter. All right, and after a little bit of wriggling about, my opponent has realized that it's only going to cause them a little bit more suffering. All right, let's go ahead and put that win on the board and begin sideboarding. So this is a reimagining of Goblin Charbelcher plus Tameshi Bloom. It's a really interesting build, and it is vulnerable to Duress plus Extirpate, which I happen to have a lot of in my sideboard. Assassin's Trophy is good at hitting errant belchers before they have the ability to activate them. What's bad in this matchup? Cling to Dust is pretty bad. See, is Gravedigger's Cage even relevant? Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield? Nah, that's not really that relevant. And I can go down 3 Ensnaring Bridges, I think. I have Urza Saga as my Ensnaring Bridges. They have so few creatures in this matchup that I seriously, seriously doubt that dying to random Thunder Trap Trainer beats is going to be a big deal. Yeah, we are up to the full 12 discard. Let's go ahead and run it. And this hand has the Lantern Lock, it has Thoughtseize, Trophy, and the means to cast all these spells. I'm going to keep this. My opponent did not... Ooh. That's a good draw. I will go ahead and Lantern now. My opponent can Force of Negation this if they want to. They did not. I guess the Harbinger of the Seas is mildly annoying. They chose to not reveal their stuff to me. Pithing Needle, I don't really need that right now. I can Thoughtseize them safely here. Just not going to reveal the information that I have a basic swamp in my hand quite yet. Wow. Look at that hand. That's a hand. That is a hand. Look at that hand. Okay, so this hand has 1, 2, 3 lands in it. It has Disrupting Shoal and Force of Negation, which I'm expecting that they're going to want to point those at my Pithing Needle here. But lol, I have an Extirpate in hand, so I think I'm just going to take this Goblin Charbelcher. Sure, I'll shock this in. I would like to pay 2 life. And on their upkeep, because I don't really want them drawing that Harbinger of the Seas, let's just go ahead and Extirpate Goblin Charbelcher. Extirpate versus Surgical Extraction. Extirpate has Split Second. My opponent cannot use this Disrupting Shoal or this Force of Negation to counter Extirpate. Let's take a look at what they got. That's kind of sad. My poster fell down. Alright, so my opponent has, as far as ways to win the game, they have a Pelagi Archaeologist, 3 of them. They have 4 Harbinger of the Seas. They have Hydroelectric Specimen. Into the Flood mod doesn't really win. Portable Hole doesn't really win. And they have Temeshis, and they have Thunder Trap Trainers. Maybe I shouldn't have gone so low on Ensnaring Bridges then. Alright, that's fine. Hey, you should gift me a tapped fish. That's Seagate down. We'll go ahead and duress them here. They only had one into the Flood Maw. And I genuinely do believe that their plan at this point is just Hydroelectric Specimen beats. Do I allow them to Force of Negation the Pixis? I don't really think that these two matter that much. I'm going to take the Sink into Stupor. Yeah, let's go ahead and take the Sink into Stupor. I will Pixis now. They are going to force this Hydroelectric Specimen. Sure, we got it. All right. Let's go ahead and play this Pithing Needle out. Highly interested in Urza Saga right now. Super interested in Urza Saga. They don't have the ability to cast this. When they do, it's going to be annoying, and I don't really want this Underground Mortuary anyway. Yeah, okay, this is fine. That Suppression Ray is now a land. Just churning through their discard at this point. Churning through their counter magic. I've got so much discard in my deck right now, it's insane. They're gonna counter this? Doesn't make a difference to me. They're gonna Disrupting Shoal it. That's fine. I don't really need... I could try to bait out a Force of Negation here. I'll go ahead and do that. This creature doesn't really matter too much to me right now. I'm almost certainly going to be milling out my opponent before this becomes relevant. I just kind of wanted to draw out the Force. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm going to take the Spell Pierce. It's just annoying. Yeah, Porthole is fine. Porthole is down. I'm gonna have myself shuffle. I'm not gonna have myself shuffle. I'm just going to allow this Porthole to hit my Lantern. There's a card on top of my deck that I don't want, and there's a card on top of my opponent's deck that I don't want them having. So I am going to exile on upkeep. There's a Saga. Nope, that's a Duress. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and take the end of the Flood Maw now. Alright, we're in a top deck war. I want Urza Saga. That's all I want. Oh, that's an Assassin's Trophy. I can do this on my opponent's upkeep. Did you draw a counterspell? Dang. Should have saved that Duress. Alright. Yep, should have saved the Duress. That's alright. Should have also exiled with this Pixis, I think. Ooh, Urza Saga. I should not have exiled with the Pixis. I have 0 agency here. I've got one thing that I'm going to do, and that is activate Urza Saga. And Pixis the Pandemonium, of course, because I did forget to do that last turn. Let's go ahead and cast this Mishra's Bauble. I believe this is the rare, extraordinarily, exceedingly, vanishingly rare instance in which it is correct to Mishra's Bauble targeting your opponent. Oh, give me a second. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. This might be the rare instance in which I need to Mishra's Bauble targeting my opponents, because I really just need them to fade one draw before this Saga pops and gets a Lantern of Insight. I think I will do that. Thundertrap Trainer. You may not have a Thundertrap Trainer. Maybe I should have done this on their upkeep so that I don't have the card in hand. Ooh, nope. Never mind. I kind of want that card in hand. All right. Extirpate targeting. Sink into Stupor. What a lucky draw. Maybe I didn't need to fire off the Sink into Stupor quite yet. Okay, just gonna take another look through their deck. Yeah, I don't really care about most of this stuff. The Harbinger is, yeah, whatever. The Temeshis are 2/3s. Yeah, that's fine. Razorgrass Ambush, 3 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. They don't even have that in hand. Creatures get -2, -0. Yeah, it's fine. They are going to attack. Let me go ahead and update my opponent's hand here. They had a Hydroelectric Specimen and a Disrupting Shoal in hand. So they actually cannot do anything about this. All right, they touch butts. And I'm just going to win with Urza Saga constructs now. Let's go ahead and grab another Lantern of Insights. Whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned to hand, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. I actually don't think that is that big of a problem, specifically because I already have a needle on it. And they don't have the ability to bounce things. I'm just going to kill my opponent now. Yeah, you got it. You can chump with that. They didn't even chump with it. All right, so that's down. They don't even have enough power on board to kill one of my constructs. I can pretty much just swing freely right now. And I'm not going to exile with Pixis right now because I do want to draw this Pixis on top of my deck. And it's basically the same thing. Drawing Pixis, exiling with the Pixis that I draw versus getting rid of the Pixis. So I will just swing out. And I need to fade 2 draws from my opponent here. Seagate is fine. They cannot cast that. Alright, and my opponent is deterministically dead. I'm going to swing with these. They're going to chump twice. The next turn, they're going to draw this Seagate, and they're going to die. Let's just wait for them to figure it out, shall we? Or perhaps we're going to wait 13 minutes and 38 seconds for my opponent to time out. Either way, it's a win. This is why I've got the good music in the background. This happens a lot. Okay. And I win the next match. Yeah, it did not matter what you were going to draw. Thanks for revealing the next 12 cards of your deck to me. Or whatever. Let me know what you were on. I mean, I already knew what you were on. You're probably on the build that won the challenge or whatever it is. But yeah. Again, we love all of our wins equally. Especially wins where... I love all of my wins equally. But I love... Urza Saga beatdown wins more equally than the other wins. I will go ahead and round up round 4. Excellent. We have started round 4 versus 𝗟𝗩𝗃98. Hello, 𝗟𝗩𝗃. I will not chat with you, but I will play a game of Magic against you. See what they want to if they want to be on the play, or if they're one of the rare 8-rack players that wants to be on the draw. They're not playing 8-rack. Shame. All right, this hand is 4 lands. It's got an Ensnaring Bridge in it. It's got a Profane Tutor in it. I worry that this hand is just not powerful enough. It doesn't even have a discard spell to protect the Ensnaring Bridge. I worry that I'm going to play this Ancient Stirrings, find an irrelevant mill rock, or worse, nothing. I'm going to turn 2 Profane Tutor, turn 3 Ensnaring Bridge, and still have like a ton of cards in hand. I'm going to mulligan this. This is basically the same hand, except it's got a Pithing Needle instead of an Ensnaring Bridge, and it's got 3 lands. But it doesn't have a Stirrings, it has an Inquisition. I'm going to keep this. I don't need this Overgrown Tomb. Maybe I'll just be playing against 𝗟𝗩𝗃 or whatever that deck is called, and just auto-win due to Inquisition into Needle. I don't think that's going to happen, though, because of this Thundering Falls that has entered play, milling Questing Druid. This is Storm. This is either Storm or some sort of rug thing. I think it's Storm. It's Storm. The newer Storm lists are playing Questing Druid now. Jeez, man, just look at all of that good stuff, though. I really wish I could take the Steam Vents, honestly. I think I just need to... Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Give me a second. All right. Sorry for the delay, y'all. Give me just a second. I remember it was like this. Then I won like that. And now we're here and I'm doing this. Because this is all custom stuff that I'm using, sometimes it crashes like that. All right, hang on. Okay, and I think we're back. I'm going to take the Ren's Resolve here. But the Questing Druid is crashing my my setup. It's just an old bug in it that I need to fix. I probably will have time to fix it later today, but for right now, I'm just going to continue. Lost 5 minutes to that. That's unfortunate. And I'm definitely not favored. One of those unknown cards is a Questing Druid. That's a Steam Vents down. Just nothing, huh? Just... No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Ruby Medallion and Mountain. And I'm drawing a bunch of ensnaring bridges. I don't think I'm going to win this. Let's go ahead and suspend Profane Tutor. I would have liked one ensnaring bridge against the odd Questing Druid. Two is entirely too many. All right. Manamorphose is cycling. And they might just try storming off right now. Yeah, I think they're trying to storm off right now. That's a row. That's not good. Okay, so they have 3 mana. They can cast a Valakut's Awakening if they really want to, but I think Ren's Resolve is just better. I agree. Ren's Resolve is just better. Red spells, instant sorceries, so this guy's 1 mana, this guy's 1 mana. And I think I'm just gonna die here. 1, 2, 3. They need to cast 6 in order to do it, and they need to actually flip it. They have a real shot here. Maybe they'll just hit the 1 in, I don't know, 4,096 chance and never flip the row. And kill themselves from 15. So they are going to go ahead and just cycle their entire hand here. I'm going to have no idea what's in their hand. I think they might just be checking to see if they should continue. And I believe if this next spell happens, sure, then they can start flipping Ral if they want to. They did flip Ral. Yeah, there's a decent chance that I'm dead here. I'm definitely making them play it out, though. Not that I have anything that I can do about it next turn. But there's one unknown in their hand. Oh, they just hit a bunch of stuff. Can they cast all of these without paying their mana costs? They can, without paying their mana costs. All right. Yeah, I'm almost certainly dead. But almost certainly is not actually. I'm only dead when my life total hits 0. And now they're down to a Valakut Awakening and a Seek the Beast. And if they don't make this work, then... Oh wait, no, they have a Realm Monsoon Mage in exile that they can also cast, so they can spin another 8 if they need to. They fizzled, I think. A little bit. Still 2 unknowns in their hand. I'm not even facing down a questing druid that I need to play an ensnaring bridge for. I think my opponent could have played that a little bit differently, I think. I will go ahead and cast this, just having them reveal their hand. I'll also discard an ensnaring bridge. I don't need all of those ensnaring bridges. Desperate Ritual, Flame of Anor. That's not the right Desperate. And I think I will just fetch now. Find a Swamp. Play Pithing Needle on the backside of Rao. Just making sure. Yeah. Okay. Hope I don't die. Again. Yeah, you got it. Oof. Jeez. Those were good hits. And I think that they're trying to storm off again. Yeah, they're trying to storm off again. So they have 5 draws here. They can only choose one mode on Flame of Anor, but they only need one mode. It's a Reckless Impulse, which hit more stuff. So Rao doesn't do anything here, but they can cycle the Manamorphoses. They see, what, 5 cards? I think they might have it. They definitely have another attempt. They're running out of mana, though. At least red mana. They're really running out of mana here. Yeah, they played a 𝗟𝗚. Interestingly enough, they're 17 cards away from completely milling themselves out. And we haven't seen... We haven't seen a Past in Flames. This guy's coming off Suspend. This is probably the sort of build that has a, This is probably the sort of build that has a Thassa's Oracle in the side. Do I want to grab Pithing Needle and slap that on 𝗟𝗚 so that if they draw another Flame of Anor, then they can't hit it? They've hit 2 flames already. They could just wish into Brotherhood's End and just completely wreck my day. I don't have an Extirpate that I can grab. I'm just not sure what to do here. I'm honestly, genuinely not sure what to do here. I don't have enough of a lock. I don't have enough of anything. I need 1 card and a random draw to get me out of this. I don't even think Grafdigger's Cage is relevant at this point. They just have so much stuff that they can do. I think I'm going to put a Pithing Needle on 𝗟𝗚 again. Urza's Saga. There ever was going to be a draw that was good for me, it was definitely Urza's Saga. Alright, let's go ahead and Pithing Needle 𝗟𝗚 again. And I'm actually not going to cast the Ensnaring Bridge. Just completely F6'd here. The Mycosynth Gardens will not save a Pithing Needle, so I don't need to hold it up. I don't need to pretend. They just have so much agency here. They have a bunch of choices. They have a bunch of stuff in their hand. I couldn't have even grabbed a removal spell for 𝗟𝗚 because they would just play another one. I wonder if they're, wow, Underworld Breach, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you got it. There's no way on earth they don't win now. Why do they not have Jegantha as a companion? Maybe they just don't want to be burning the 15th sideboard slot on a creature that's almost completely irrelevant? That might be the case. In either way, in any case, I'm going to let them just win. And I will make them actually do it. So they did have a Past in Flames in their deck. Just was really far down there. It was just really far down there. They have two of them, actually. Grafdigger's Cage will be good. And unfortunately, even a cheeky Assassin's Trophy on the Thassa's Oracle in response to its trigger, because they've only got 2 cards left in their deck, wouldn't actually work because they have the Monomorphoses to draw extra cards, and they have the Seek the Beast from Questing Druid, which is an instant that can exile the last 2 cards of their deck. I'm just going to let them do it. They don't even need to use Thassa's Oracle. They can just Grape Shot kill me with the Grape Shot that they have in their main deck. It's kind of terrifying. But notably, my opponent did consume 13 minutes of their clock in order to do all of this. So I've got that going for me. I consumed a decent chunk of clock too, but 5 minutes of that was just my stuff crashing and me having to restart it. So I really only spent 3 minutes on that match. Excellent. All right. That is game 1 down in my opponent's favor. Let's go ahead and really get the game cooking now. Duress, Extirpate, get in the deck. Assassin's Trophy, get in the deck. Witherbloom Command, you're out. Pithing Needle, kind of want all my Pithing Needles. What does my sideboard guide have to say about this? Don't have a sideboard guide for version 3.1.4. Okay. Yeah, sure. Oh, give me a second. Oh, of course, my Ensnaring Bridges. Although they do have Questing Druids now. I can bring these out. I think I want to leave one Ensnaring Bridge in as a tutor target. And I'm just not really sure what else to bring out. I think this is kind of a sloppy sideboard plan. I think this is pretty sloppy. I would not really recommend sideboarding like this. Perhaps a Mishra's Bauble can come in and a Pithing Needle can come out. Yeah, sure. This is pretty sloppy. I wouldn't recommend doing this sideboarding. I would like to be on the play. I have the one of Ensnaring Bridge in my hand. But I have a Thoughtseize backed by a Fast Lock. And my opponent is mulliganing. Only mulliganing to 6. Play your land. You're gonna play your land, right? That was just a misclick, right? Okay, thank goodness. And we will Thoughtseize now. I think I take the Flame of Anor here. It's what? Ral Monsoon Mage and Ruby Medallion. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Flame of Anor. It's a really slow hand for my opponent. This Urza Saga is going to put in a lot of work. Just go ahead and F6 here. Whatever is on my opponent's top that I don't want them to have, I can mill on their upkeep. Except I let you have a round. So I'm certainly not going to mill that one. And I think I actually might take this Pyretic Ritual. So Steam Vents is gone, Ral is gone. Let's think about this. If I let them have this Pyretic Ritual, then they can go turn 3, have 3 lands, and then up to 5 mana. Then Past in Flames brings them down to 2. They can go back up to 4, down to 2 off this Flame of Anor, which would draw them a bunch of cards and just destroy all of my artifacts. I don't think I want that right now. I'm gonna draw the Assassin's Trophy. And then I'm going to exile this with Pixis. Okay, we're good. I will play the Mycosynth Gardens because I might need this to play a black spell. And this does not allow them to... Oh boy, this does not allow them to play the Past in Flames in their hand and have mana up for Flame of Anor. Yeah. I think I forgot about that. I'm gonna eat your Ral. Bloodstained Mire is down. They're just gonna play another Ral? Sure. Be my guest. Now I need to decide if I actually care about this Past in Flames. I don't care about the Veil of Summer, that much I know. I'm definitely making this, that much I know. I think I do care about the Past in Flames. I'll go ahead and grab a Grafdigger's Cage. Let's go ahead and crack in. And I win the game. Okay, we take those. Let's go ahead and look at our sideboard plan, see how good it is. Bloodchief's Thirst are kind of tempting. Not gonna lie, they're kind of tempting. I could have a Bloodchief's Thirst instead of an Ensnaring Bridge. All the stuff that looks for Ensnaring Bridge looks for Bloodchief's Thirst, kind of. I could go down an Ancient Stirrings and play yet another Bloodchief's Thirst. I don't even know if I need quite all that. Baubles are really good too. So basically I'm just swapping a Bridge for a Bloodchief's Thirst. And a Stirrings for a Bauble. Alright, sure. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like this sideboard plan is not as polished as it should be. It needs to be just a little more polished, I think. Flame of Anor as a main deckable answer to all of my stuff is kind of terrifying. Me boarding up to 12 discard spells versus them is kind of terrifying for them too, though. I feel like this new Flame of Anor build of Storm that's got the Veil of Summers and the blue cards, I think it's the strongest build. Everyone was squabbling about what the correct splash color was for Storm, and it turns out that it was all of them, except for white. Sorry, white. You suck. That's why I don't play white in my deck. This would be a fantastic hand if I had a black producing land. It's not, though. This is better. I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna put the Underground Mortuary back. And I'm on the draw here. So I think I'm going to fetch a Swamp. Yeah, I can fetch the Overgrown Tomb later if I need to. Let's go ahead and play an Inquisition here. Seriously, you're gonna Veil of Summer me. I'm not gonna Veil of Summer me. A Braid into the Floodmaw, Ruby Medallion, Ren's Resolve. Taking the Ren's Resolve. It's almost always correct to take that sort of stuff. I know that they've got 2 interaction spells, but those interaction spells do not actually kill me. That Ren's Resolve does, though. Oh. I can bobble myself, see what's on top. It's an Assassin's Trophy. I do not believe I want that Assassin's Trophy. I do, however, believe now is the time for Overgrown Tomb. Reckless Impulse on top of their deck. No. They can abrade my Lantern now if they want to. Grape Shots. So they have a Braid into the Floodmaw, a Grape Shot, and an unknown card. My Lantern's probably dying. Yeah. I will have myself shuffle. That was their unknown. Ooh, and I dodged. I dodged. I dodged. I dodged. Okay, that's fantastic. All right. I shuffled, and on top of my deck is a Pixis. Urza Saga's going down right now. Do I need to take their Into the Floodmaw right this second? I don't think I need to, but it also couldn't hurt, and it would give me more freedom to cast what's on top of my deck in a future turn. I'll take the Into the Fledmaw and play this Pixis. All right, my opponent doesn't have much in hand. They could have some Insano top decks, though. That's not an Insano top deck. That's close to an Insano top deck. They kept it on top. I'm not going to Shredder to see what it is, because if it is a Past in Flames that they're juking me on or something like that, then I don't want to mill it. I will just go ahead and do that. Okay. And now my opponent gets one draw here. This one draw has to basically win them the game on the spot. They get another draw. If it's a Glimpse the Impossible or whatever. Wow, just chaining Monomorphoses together. Yeah, sure. You know, if you were going to have a draw, that would be a pretty good draw to have. I'm not sure how much that matters, though. Rao's not going to be able to ultimate immediately. Oh, and he lost the flip anyway. Okay, I'm pretty confident in my ability to win this game now. I'm going to grab a Lantern off this Urza Saga. I will make a dude using this mana, because if I find another Urza Saga off this Ancient Stirrings, I want to play it instead of this Forest that I drew. But my opponent is Hellbent. I have a Lantern with a lock. You have an Engineered Explosives on top of their deck? Seriously? Yeah, no you don't. You have a Desperate Ritual. Let's go ahead and find another thing. Pithing Needle is a great pickup. Let's play that now. Rao, Leyline Prodigy, fantastic. Okay. It's time to kill them. They have this draw, and they have one more draw that they can get. All right, that's game. Let's just go ahead and actually... Oop, nope, don't concede, don't concede, don't concede. Actually declare attackers during the declare attackers step, please. Thank you. All right, and I believe I still remain undefeated versus Storm. I think I'm undefeated versus Storm. Don't take my word on that. Go ahead and watch my VODs and stuff. I guess. But yeah, I don't even need to do anything else here. My opponent is just dead. So I'm not going to waste anyone else's time anymore. All right, and I win the match. Oh boy, that was something. That was something. This match brought to you by what? The turn 1 Inquisition taking my opponent's Ren Resolve or something? I don't know. I was kind of in the mode and not really paying attention to stuff like that. How about this match brought to you by Urza's Saga popping and getting me a Lantern of Insight? Yeah, let's say that's what did it. Okay. I will go ahead and take a small break. I will boot up round 5 in just a second. Excellent. We are starting round 5, the trophy match versus Ponderosis versus Ponder. Something keep. This is a keep. Double discard, very nice. Ensnaring Bridge, very nice to have. Mishra's Bauble off of that. If only I knew what my opponent was playing. They've F6'd. I think I will keep it. I'll go ahead and Inquisition them. Huh. This hand does not answer Ensnaring Bridge. And if I discard that Psychic Frog, then they're going to have the ability to just turn 1 Psychic Frog, which is going to suck. So either I take the Thought Scour or I take the Unearth. And I think I'm going to take the Thought Scour out of this hand. Thought Scour represents a very cheap way to get the Murktide Regent and also draw them a card. Quite grateful that I decided to keep that additional discard spell on top of my deck. That was very nice. Let's leave my opponent guessing as to what I'm doing. Oh, and apologies to my curated video watchers. If you're watching this from the video, then my data hasn't been updating on the video side, probably since the weird stuff with the internet connection and all of that, so I apologize for that. It should all be fixed now. So I have a few options. I can either Collective Brutality, which would involve playing a Mycosynth Gardens, or maybe this Verdant Catacombs. I could Inquisition my opponent now. Use this Verdant Catacombs to find something else. Off of a Surveil land. I don't know how much I like that play. And I don't really want to advertise that I'm an artifact deck at this point. I think I'm just going to fetch up my Overgrown Tomb. I would like to pay the 2 life. And I will cast this on just the reveal mode. I suppose if my opponent has a Spell Snare, then this would be a excellent target for that. Although if they have a Spell Snare, then that would be the unknown card that they have in hand. The unknown card was in Polluted Delta. I will take the Unearth. And are we in the hope my opponent doesn't draw a Flare of Denial or a Force of Negation territory? We might be. We might be in hope my opponent doesn't draw a counterspell territory here. I wish they had kept that on Earth. Surprised they thought so long about it. So this is almost certainly going to be a Psychic Frog. The question is, do I wait? Oh, it's a Murktide Regent. Yeah, you got it. Well, if that's a Murktide Regent, then what's... took the Unearth, that's right. If that's a Murktide Regent, then I think I am definitely in the Slam and Snaring Bridge right now game plan. Am I on the Slam and Snaring Bridge right now game plan? I just drew the 4th land. Yeah, sure. This could backfire horribly, and it did not backfire. All right. That didn't backfire. That's very, very good news for me. Undercity Sewers is gone. They put it on top. Drawing a Psychic Frog. Whatever's on top of their deck, it has to be like a Sink into Stupor. Almost exactly like a Sink into Stupor, right? Underground Mortuary is a pretty big hit here, actually. That's a nice draw for from my side. And an Abhorrent Oculus? Yeah, I don't really care about that. So that's a Fatal Push and a Polluted Delta. I'll go ahead and play this, I suppose. Oh, I should have played Pixis and Exiled first. I don't want that Mishra's Bauble. Okay. F6. Oh, use Thought. Psych. I'm not gonna let you draw that. I know what you did. Okay, and they have one unknown card. Could be anything. Could even be a Sink into Stupor. They are gonna get a hit off the Psychic Frog. That's gonna give them another unknown card. Polluted Delta's gone. They have Fatal Push. Just not a land. That's fine. I don't even need the mana from this Urza Saga. Just need the Lantern. I could... I wish I had used the mana off the Urza Saga now. Oh well. I could have just made a copy of the Ensnaring Bridge. Still think that that's probably correct to do. Maybe not right now. I will take the Consider. That might not be the best plan, but I'm going to take it. Yeah, you got it. It's an Abhorrent Oculus. Yeah, you can draw that. Oh, I need to get rid of this Cling to Dust. Huh. Yeah, I suppose I'll go ahead and just get rid of it. I don't really care what happens to this Cling to Dust. They can counter it. It doesn't really matter. I just want the Psychic Frog to not attack. Wow. And I just win. I did not have control over that game at all. Honestly, I think it was kind of playing sloppy. We take those. We take those. All right. On to sideboarding. So this deck plays Psychic Frogs and maybe even some Orcish Bowmasters. So Blood Chief's Thirst is good. Not as good as it used to be. Gonna be completely real about that. Duresses are really good. Assassin's Trophy... Actually, I think I might want Assassin's Trophy over some number of these Blood Chief's Thirst. We'll figure that out. This matchup is about resolving and sticking an Ensnaring Bridge. Anything that doesn't serve that purpose needs to go. Cling to Dust, probably not good. Grafdigger's Cage stops... Grafdigger's Cage stops the Manifest Dread. They still mill too, just without using the word mill. But it stops the creature from entering. I had to double check that ruling. Pithing Needles, I think all of them come out. And that leaves me with what? That leaves me with 63 cards. I could just cut my baubles and call it a day. I kind of want to just cut my baubles and call it a day. Max discard on this one too, because this is all about sticking an Ensnaring Bridge. Just use my discard to trade for their counterspells, and then play Ensnaring Bridge, and then copy it a bunch, I guess. No. That's a hand. Oh, that's a hand. Oh, what do I do with this hand? Do I really need 3 Urza Sagas? No. I don't really need 3 Urza Sagas. As much as I would love to live the meme and play 3 Urza Sagas, I don't think I'm going to do that. So this Bloodchief's Thirst is going to take their first play, hopefully. I could just play Verdant Catacombs and pass. That would give me 1 fewer card in play, because my first turn could be playing Pixis or Cage, and then my second turn could be playing the other one of these, and then Bloodchief's Thirst. Probably should have played the Swamp. I'm not likely to be dying with 2 life mattering that much. And my green spells are pretty important. I'll go ahead and grab an Overgrown Tomb. And let's play the Cage out now. If you've got a Force of Negation for this, I am A-okay with that. Absolutely perfectly happy with that trade. Alright, so let's see what happens now. Perhaps I should have played a Pixis, because I figured they would grab an Undercity Sewers here. If I had thought that far ahead, I would have figured that, but I didn't. They milled the Abhorrent Oculus. Oh no, do they have some sort of Entomb and sort of Unearth here? Nope, they don't. They're just holding up counter magic. Alright, that's fine. Oh, Thoughtseize. Well, that changes the calculus of my hand a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe I shouldn't have played the Urza Saga first? I wanted to play around, digging for a Consign to Memory on my Urza Saga. I will take that. Thoughtseize you. Playing around Stubborn Denial. I'm pretty sure this deck doesn't play, but it would be pretty cool if it did, because I just played around it. Wouldn't that be a nice thought? That I can take with this Thoughtseize. Spell Pierce! You got it. Might have taken... Actually, I might not have taken that Spell Pierce with a Thoughtseize. And now I'm just going to make a bunch of dudes. That's basically my whole game plan at this point, is Urza Saga into Urza Saga. They liked what they drew. Yeah, sure. Why not exile the top? I won a game like that once. Let's play this. Oh, I shouldn't have played the basic swamp. I should have played the basic forest. Oh. Feels bad, because now I can't have that basic swamp untapped for turn 4 play. If they draw any sort of threat here, then I'm in trouble. This looks like a threat. An Abhorrent Oculus, maybe? A Murktide Regent. I will go ahead and make another dude. Oh, I guess I was playing in Urza Saga this turn anyway, wasn't I? Yeah, that's fine. Get Urza Saga, nerd. Alright. We're playing 2 Urza Sagas now. My constructs are 5/5s. Not big enough to swing into this Murktide region. Oh, they can't unearth because of this Grafdigger's Cage. So these Abhorrent Oculi are not going to be coming out anytime soon. They could, I don't know, sink into Super a Grafdigger's Cage and then unearth it? Nihil Spellbomb. Sure. I could not possibly care less about that. Maybe you'll exile your own graveyard. You did exile your own graveyard. Why would you exile your own... Oh, I see. To get the consigned to memory out of it so that your Murktide gets a bit bigger. That's fine. I guess I could care a little bit about that then. They're gonna swing in. They're gonna hope that I can't grow my constructs to be 9/9s. Which I can't. Go ahead and play the swamp. And do I want to attempt to kill the Murktide Regent? What do I think they have in their hand? It's turn 5. They've missed 2 land drops. Their hand is likely just absolutely chock full of permission. If they wanted to kill me, they would need to be able to do 1 damage to me. They could do that if they had a Bowmasters. That might be their plan. If they have a Bowmasters, then what is the thing that I do about that? Absolutely nothing. If I make a construct token now, does that actually change my clock? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go ahead and kick this, kill this guy. See if that resolves. I don't think this resolves. I think I'm going to lose here. They're digging for a force. Oh my goodness, it actually went through. Wow, I can't believe that actually went through. If I win this game, then it's because of the Blood Chief's Thirst. What do they have in their hand? Is their hand just absolutely chock full of consigned memory? Like, they need to put a blocker into... They need 2 blockers right now. They need to deal with both of these constructs, plus the third one that's going to come out of this. I don't care. I guess that's what their hand is full of. Well, I have all my basic lands under me. They need to chump or else they die. All right, well, what do you have in hand now? They're digging. They're digging. And I win the match. Oh my goodness. That was wild. That was absolutely insane. That's great. I can't believe I actually got my first 5-0 after checks notes. 16 streams. 16 streams for 1 5-0, huh? Okay, before I get carried away, give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the end of the video, or I'll pull up a conclusion. Okay, so we have the 5-0. We have the 5-0, and it was with version 3.1.4, not the stable version. I will say, the Blood Chief's Thirst at the end of the final match, it was great. It was fantastic. I am not confident that I would have won had that Blood Chief's Thirst been anything else, or if it had not resolved. I mean, I would have had an additional game, sure, but whatever. I did not feel the loss of Fomori Vault. I'm sorry, I didn't feel the loss of Fomori Vault. It didn't matter that much to me. I mean, I guess there could have been a couple of cases where top decking a Fomori Vault instead of the Underground Mortuary in that one game where I top decked that, maybe that would have made a difference. I'm not sure. But I don't think that there's really enough evidence to be showing if Underground Mortuary is worth it, especially over Fomori Vault. I'm just not sure. Let me think. 4 Pixis was fantastic. I didn't really miss the 3rd Shredder. I think I'm going to keep this configuration going forward, at least with the 4 Pixis and 2 Codex Shredder. I'm not entirely sold on the Underground Mortuary quite yet. I might turn that into, I don't know, a 6th fetch land or something like that. I am fairly happy that I chose to use Polluted Delta as opposed to the Prismatic Vista. I feel like the use of Polluted Delta to grab Overgrown Tomb and Underground Mortuary is more valuable than it being able to grab specifically Basic Forest. It would have to be specifically Basic Forest. Would have to be what I grab in order for it to be worth it. So I think more testing is necessary. If you want to play this deck yourself, I've got a link to it in the description. I do have version 3.1.3, which is a quote-unquote stable version, something that I might recommend if you don't want to try all of these experimental changes. But yeah, I'm just happy that I got a 5-0. I've been grinding for this for a long time. Let me think. No, that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, both in the live stream and in the video. I appreciate the support, and I will see y'all next time.